travelers. Today we are bringing you something extra special about 5 things to consider about travel right now. As we have been talking with our clients and getting them ready to travel in 2021 or even yet this year, we are hearing lots of familiar questions, and we wanted to just make sure that we're putting out, kind of those FAQ answers to help people as they're considering, okay, if I'm thinking about travel right now, what should I consider? So the first thing that you would want to consider about travel right now are entry requirements, and that is different places have different requirements to get into the country. There are Caribbean locations open to U.S. citizens. There are only 2 or 3 that do not require COVID testing here. But what you will find is that most of the others have testing requirements that still allows you to take the vacation. That would be places like St. Lucia or Jamaica. Those are open by testing. So you'll want to know the entry requirements before you go. There's often pre-arrival forms that need to be filled out. So something you're also going to want to be aware of as you go in, as well as temperature checks, either at the resort, at the airport, both. Or in transportation, that's becoming more common to have temperature checks. So if you are considering traveling right now, you're going to want to know, if you can get quick testing, if you have that availability to you to pick the right location, and then also understanding that it has to be the right test. Different countries require different testing requirements. So do make sure, even if it's domestic, like Hawaii just opened and they have very specific testing requirements. So you're going to want, it's not a one size fits all. Make sure you understand entry requirements before you pick a location to travel to right now. And secondly, you're going to want to look at passports. And that is because there was a delay in passports, and if you need your passport renewed or you need to get one, you want to do that immediately. Right now, they have fairly caught up from a huge backlog that we had in 2020, and so it's a good idea to get that in before people really we're kind of getting ready for the mushroom of people who are ready to travel, who we've been cooped up for 2020, right? We are all ready to be out there. So we know and are expecting a larger amount of people to submit for renewals for passports. So if you're thinking you might want to travel and you need a renewal, which means you must have 6 months of validity on your passport past your travel dates, not just through your travel dates, past for most countries throughout the world. So make sure you get that renewal in quickly so that you're getting that back in time for travel. Third thing that you're going to want to consider about travel right now are masks. I'll bring up a picture here of myself. You can see me here. I was in Mexico in July, and while this has become customary in most places in the U.S., you will find that masks are required on flights. They're often required by resorts now. Those standards do vary between resorts as to what they are doing. Most resorts have where you need to wear a mask while you're walking through common areas, but once you are seated or in the pool or socially distanced 6 feet away from, if you're properly separated, then you do not have to wear your mask. But you'll want to make sure that you understand the mask requirements, as well as the fact what specific types of masks. We are seeing airlines as well as places like Disney World or Universal get more specific about the types of masks that are allowed. So, airlines and Disney have just recently outlawed anything with vents or anything with mesh. So make sure that you really understand and have the proper type of mask to travel, and take multiple masks in case something happens. Or in case they get wet, which often happens in tropical locations. You'll want to be able to have a dry one. We do recommend packing that in a Ziploc, okay? So you'll need to understand masks. Fourth thing that we really need to consider about travel right now is flexibility. In one sense, there has never been a more flexible time to travel. We are seeing cancellation policies and change policies be more flexible than they in fact have ever been from airlines, or well, not ever, probably back in the good old days of travel, right? That worked, but we are seeing more flexibility than we have in very recent years for all of those things to help people be comfortable knowing that there may need to be some last minute changes or accommodations to their travel plans based on how quickly things are changing throughout the world. But that said, that knife cuts both ways. And while things are more flexible, more flexibility is expected of travelers. Things change last minute. We have heard of people being on planes and having governments change requirements while they are flying. So it's something that you just need to be cognizant of and understand that there's going to be a certain amount of flexibility needed by the traveler to adjust to changing circumstances. Things may be spontaneously open or shut in terms of excursions or in terms of resort restaurants or those kinds of things. It can change. Things are ever evolving in this environment, and you must have flexibility not only personally to travel right now, but you get to enjoy more flexibility in in terms of making your plans. And this is really where we think using a travel advisor and agent is really important, because we are literally knee deep in this stuff daily, constantly helping people, preparing them, working through the issues that are coming up, and helping people really be in the best position to travel right now. So we recommend that you reach out to a travel professional in order to do your travel planning, so that that can really be a much better process where you may not be in the loop on different things. And then lastly, things to consider about travel right now would be travel insurance. While we always recommend travel insurance, especially for international trips, right now it is more crucial than ever. With realizing you may need medical care outside of the US, that is often something that falls on a travel insurance burden. Many medical plans within the US do not cover international coverage, so something that you may need trip insurance for. Other coverage you might be considering would be if you need to have a refund because you get sick and it is last minute, and maybe that change policy wasn't flexible for the day before travel and you didn't find out till then, right? Or maybe you get sick while on vacation, and not only do you need those medical in-country expenses covered, but you also need a refund on the vacation you didn't get to take. Those are all different coverages that can be done with trip insurance. So while no insurance ever covers everything, they can cover quite a bit and really provide some protection to your investment and help you feel more secure in traveling, and just really be a help, even though, there may be certain situations where they're not helpful or would be excluded from a plan. There are by and large many, many, many more that are covered, and it's definitely a good idea to be having trip insurance right now to help cover some of those things, especially as more flexibility is needed throughout this time as we're ending 2020 here. But we hope that is helpful to you. If you have specific questions about your travel plans or about traveling right now, we would love to be of help to you. Make sure you're reaching out to us either at email at go@thetravelingcompass.com, or you can find us on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. You can send us a message, and we are happy to help you with your travel plans. Until next time, travelers, I hope that you travel smart, and we will see you soon.